We are now going to hear from Gladys Herminia Morales Guevara, who is presenting creative leadership in international development, driving innovation for global food security and social impact. Please welcome Gladys on stage. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. How many of you know the International Fund for Agricultural Development? Raise your hand if you do. I know you do, because you were talking about traceability, accountability, and intentionality. Um, for those of you, and it seems to be the majority, that don't know the International Fund for Agricultural Development, we are both a United Nations specialized agency in investments and also an international financial institution. This distinction with the other Rome-based agencies is important because, as you know, FAO supports the world with policy and technical assistance for food systems. The World Food Programme has a key mission and mandate to support emergency situations and humanitarian situations. This is also a call to remind everybody how WFP is funded and how crucial it is for us to continue supporting that organization, without which many people will die and are still dying because the funds are being retrieved from the organization. So the role of IFAD is to support investments that drive sustainable development and impact. So with that, I'm going to start my speech saying that it is a profound honor for me to be here with you today at the Shape the World Summit during this historic Great Jubilee year, a time for reflection, renewal, and global responsibility. Set against this powerful backdrop, the summit brings together leaders from across faiths, sectors, and continents, united by a shared commitment to creative leadership for social impact. And as we gather under the guidance of spiritual and ethical leaders, including the support of His Holiness Pope Leo, we are reminded that food, dignity, equity, and inclusion are not a choice, they're of paramount relevance for peace and for sustainability. Today, over 800 million people go to bed hungry. Of those affected by hunger, 2/3 are women, and 80% live in areas prone to climate change. In fact, the people who feed the world, remember that 1/3 of the world that comes to our tables is produced by small-scale farmers. They are still those that contribute the least to climate change and are those that are most affected by climate change. So ponder on that injustice. Climate extremes, conflict, market exclusion, and outdated financial systems are pushing millions to the edge. And yet, amid all of this, there is hope, and that's the reason why we're here. Because we now have the tools, the technologies, and collective will to change the system, not just the symptoms. At IFAD, we believe that innovation is not only digital transformation. It's about remaining and reimagining relationships between people, between power structures, between enterprises, between humanity and the planet. Innovation at IFAD is human-centered, it is justice-driven, and it has to be locally led. We invest in improving the lives of rural people. We use artificial intelligence to design with and for the people that will receive these technologies and use them. We use artificial intelligence to design advisory services to build resilience to climate shocks. Through our flagship universal protocol for blockchain called AgroWeb3, which we developed in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank, we are making blockchain opportunities accessible and affordable to small-scale farmers. And you would wonder how. Because we're cutting the costs of those transactions and those advisory services so that those certificates, those verifiable credentials that are accessible only to big agri-tech and food tech become accessible to small-scale farmers, and they can continue to access international markets. Very important, we use blockchain, geospatial analysis, and artificial intelligence to support farmers proving compliance with the new EU deforestation regulation. And we do this through partnerships with the European Space Agency and with the Inter-American Development Bank and the other international financial institutions. Through our Moonshots for Development Alliance, we believe that partnerships that help to identify, test, and scale up innovation will deliver social impact and will deliver results. That's why we have partnered with the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the Asian Development Bank in establishing the first ever financing facility to scale up innovation that is supported by the multilateral development banks. This will bring us from that phenomena that we call pilotitis in development, just having small projects here and there around the world, to really scale up innovation and bring those local innovations, because that's what we invest in, to really a scale that can produce results globally. Because we believe strongly that those who are living the problems every day are those also that understand those problems better than anyone else. So we need to listen to them. Real innovation isn't just technology. It's moral. It's a form of leadership that puts people above process and purpose above prestige. That is why this summit theme resonates so deeply with us. In an era where divisions grow sharper, creative leadership is the bridge. It means leading with humility. It means moving away from ecosystems to ecosystems, where businesses, governments, philanthropies, and faith communities align for shared outcomes. The concept of the economy of communion offers us with a powerful framework here, blending entrepreneurship with solidarity, profit with purpose, and commerce with compassion. This is not idealism. This is a strategy. This is a strategy for resilience, for peace building, for inclusion, and for long-term sustainability. At IFAD, we have seen how listening to women and to youth has produced an increase in outcomes and increase in household incomes tenfold. So these are results that represent for us that when you really listen to the people and when scientists leave away the, sometimes, and forgive me for the expression, the intellectual arrogance, and we listen to those people that are in the field, those farmers, those women, and the youth, so that we support them not migrating, but staying home with their parents, with their grandparents, we build a better world. This summit calls us to recommit to listening to each other, to listening to evidence, and to listening to lived experience. And let me say what lived experience means to us. Listening to those that face those problems every day, and believe me, they want the solution more than any one of us. I invite each of you, impact leaders from businesses, philanthropy, social enterprise, to join us. Partner with IFAD to co-create with local innovators to co-finance breakthrough innovations. Collaborate to design and deploy ethical technology for agriculture and climate resilience. Let us together advance in a new economy, one rooted in inclusion, equity, regeneration, and hope. And as we look ahead to the powerful closing remarks tomorrow of His Holiness, let us carry forward this spirit of unity with creativity as our compass, regeneration, and hope. Let us shape the world not only with bold ideas, but with shared purpose. Thank you.